But when you mean them, I think they really have value and they can produce results. And the first thing that we did is we set about hiring a head coach who shared that same philosophy, who was kind of cut from that same cloth. And Martin isn't from Detroit. The guy I'm going to introduce to you, our head coach, isn't from Detroit. Many of these players who are on our team aren't from our region, but they share a lot of those same values. And you hear it when you hear them talk. Those same pundits and columnists and whoever else who were saying we're trying to buy what the Lions are, we're starting to buy what the Lions are selling, didn't really listen to what Ndamukong Suh or Calvin Johnson or Matthew Stafford or anybody else had to say after that game. It was, yeah, we're pleased with our performance. We got a lot of work to do. Yeah, it's the preseason. We've got to carry this over to the regular season. We've got things that we have yet to accomplish. We haven't done anything yet. And it's about those values and that hard work that are important to building this football team, but I think even more important to building that football team in our community, in our city, in our region, that is the kind of team that we can be proud of this year and the kind of program that we can be proud of for years to come, because it's going to be a perennial contender, because we have those same expectations that the community has for us. We have higher ones for ourselves. And that's what we're trying to build, but we're trying to build it the right way. And I mentioned that the first thing that Martin and I did was to go out and find a head coach to lead this franchise. And it was interesting to me, and as Martin and I had traveled through the NFL, Martin as a player and then in the front office for a number of years, and myself in the front office, we knew lots of people around the league. Neither one of us knew Jim Schwartz when we went to Nashville, Tennessee to interview him for about 7 or 8 hours on I think it was a Saturday afternoon. But by the time we finished with that visit, we were convinced that we had a guy that could come up here and put a lot of flesh on the bones of the philosophy that we had, that hard work and doing things the right way. I'll never forget standing right in this spot when we introduced Jim at his initial press conference. Somebody asked him, what are your expectations for winning? What's your projection? What's your time frame? And Jim's answer, to paraphrase this, and I hope I don't screw it up, Coach, but was his time frame was today. His time frame was to excel at whatever the challenge in front of you was today. If that was to have a great meeting in training camp, and then to go out and have a great practice, and then to go out and have a great set of meetings after practice, then that's what you needed to do. And if you did that consistently on a day-by-day basis, after 30 of those days, you look back and said, that was a pretty good month. And after 60 of them, a good couple of months. And after 6 months, the same thing, and a year. And now we can look back at 2.5 years, and we can say we put together a pretty good string of days in that 2.5-year period. But we've done it one day at a time. We've done it with that philosophical principle of hard work, high expectations for ourselves, but being genuine about it and being disciplined with that philosophy that we have of the kind of team that we wanted to build. But we've done it most importantly with the guys who are seated at your tables out there. It's the guys who have come into this team, who take that field on Sunday afternoons, who are truly what the success of this franchise is all about. So I thank them for everything they do for the franchise, and more importantly, everything they will do starting in a couple of weeks for this franchise. That kind of effort that they collectively put together wouldn't be possible without that guy that Martin and I left in Nashville some 2.5 years ago, got on the plane and said, we found him. We found the guy who shares those values, who can lead this franchise, who can add a significant component to take us to where we want to go as an organization.